So this computer has decided it is not going to be cooperative. So you can see where we've closed on this candlestick here. Nice push. We've closed on the upper portion of that. So we have a swing low here. So I want to see it. I want to see them push it higher. So that is 435, 436. So I want to be looking for a buy now. This candlestick here has retraced to 423.1. So you can see the bullish price here. We've had a price trade on the upper portion of that inefficiency. Then now I want to see higher prices. So not just higher prices, but I want to see them push it back lower, because now that we've gone above those very small highs down the 1 minute, I want to see that decline right there for anybody who is trying to buy that breakout. So we're going above this candlestick's high. This is 438.63. 438, this candlestick's high is 437. So we've gone above 438. This one was 440, just 2 points above that very small bull flag there on the 1 minute. And now we are back down to 423s and 424s. So the way price is behaving here, I'm kind of like skeptical. I really wanted to see it run higher. I mean, this is very nice reaction toward this inefficiency here. We're trading on the upper portion of that inefficiency. We have swing low here, so that is very nice for higher prices. Very nice for higher prices. But now that we are consolidating here, I want to see it trade lower. We come back into 420s, maybe you can look for a buy there. But it's spending quite a lot of time inside this inefficiency, and we can have, now that we've not really had an interest to go into this high here, this can be just a short-term high here, and then we can start trading lower. That can absolutely happen. That's why I'm not really interested in a buy here now. I know that London session normally has a very nice price runs, but they come with momentum. And this, if we are to trade higher, I want to see a huge, a bigger retracement that has a low that does not take out this one here. Then we can be bullish comfortably. But going bullish right here, we may just have a retracement back down. So this is a difficult price action in today's trading. So we've closed a 15-minute candlestick right there at the midpoint of that inefficiency. So let's see, do they have an interest to push it higher, or do they have an interest to push it lower together with this momentum? Sorry, that's the difficulties that I'm having here. So they can take it higher and take that high. That's fine. I'm not really be hurt or be surprised, but it's a fact that we've gone above these highs here. I was expecting lower prices, and this can be a lower swing high than this one here, and then we start trading lower. Absolutely, that can be. That's the reason why I'm not really interested in going long here. Now, with the fact that we've been spending a lot of time inside this inefficiency here, that's another reason why I'm not buying this, that 420 level. You can just buy for that 420 level and it can just run lower and run into 400 outside this inefficiency. So if we want to be having higher prices now from where we are trading right now, I want to see it run lower and forms kind of like a swing low that does not take up this low here. That's a higher low, and then we'll be looking for higher prices. That's what I'm anticipating. Otherwise, we can just have higher prices. And now that price does not really have the ability to get to the lower portion of this inefficiency, this is still bullishness. This is still bullishness. And I've explained why I'm not trying to buy it. So I'm not really feeling like I've been left out. I'll be left out if we want to run directly into that buy side. I'll not really feel anything. I'll just say I'm right. I'll just say I'm right. But if I go long here and then it goes lower on me, then I'll not be right, because I'm talking about two possibilities here, which are 50-50. I'm not really weighing my 100% on anything. I'm not even saying this is 70-30 or 80-20. This is 50-50. 50-50 how? We've been bearish. I talked about this going above this strategic lows because I was looking for lower prices. Yes. We're going higher, and now we've had a higher high that goes above this buy side. So we are still bearish. We're still bearish. We've been bearish through the whole week. We're bearish in the higher time frame. So if I start to go long here, then I'll not be like sticking to my initial bias, right? If we want to be long, I've said I want to see price go lower. Then for my swing low that is higher than this one here, then we'll be going lower. But I mean, we'll be going higher. But now that we are stuck inside this inefficiency, I expected this here to go straight up to this buy side here when we were trading around this candlestick here, but it never did. It never did. And now we are back lower, right? So we have a swing low here. My interest is, do we take this swing low here and then rush back up higher? That's another way it can do it. Do we take that low out and then rush back higher? Or do we just trade lower because the bias is bearish, right? So are we going below this low here? This low here is 409.75. The low here is 409.54. Wow, it's 49 both. So to me, it's still 50-50. So we've gone down to 410. We're back up to 420s. Look at what we've closed. Again, on the upper portion of that inefficiency. Very wild price action, right? It's really bullish. To me, right now it's bullish, but I'm not trying to buy it. And yes, we have consistent price moves in London. I mean, you can look at how the week has been performing. But right now, I have those two possibilities and I'm for neither. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be looking for some more price action to tell me what it wants to do. So we've closed right there. Look at that run into those lows. Very interesting, right? we're back down to 407.48. So I'm looking to see if we will resume with lower prices. That's what I'm watching for now. Do we resume with lower prices, or do we have a low here that runs into this buy side? Remember, the time is 8:36 now. We are remaining with around 24 minutes to get into the London session open. So anyway, with the reading inefficiencies, now going forward, all I want to see is how price reacts to the lower portion of that inefficiency. That's the most important thing now. So remember, we did this here, got above these highs here, and then now we're trading lower. Anybody who is buying above these highs here, they're wrecked. They're wrecked. And now we have these lows here. Anybody who will be, maybe let's say we go higher, anybody who will be selling below these lows here, they'll be wrecked if we start trading higher. We are back up here into 413s. Well, this is interesting. So we run lower, we take out those relative equal lows here, and we're back up higher to 420s. That's interesting. This candlestick's low is 4.5. Now, I want to see it start to run higher, because if you look at the 1 minute, let's run into this 1 minute chart here. So you can see what it does. We have this huge consolidation here. We run higher, take out these relative equal lows here. Then we run lower and take out this low here. And then immediately we have what? This run higher here. So that can speak out higher prices, because we are remaining with less than a minute to close this here. That can be speaking out for higher prices. And I won't be surprised if we run into this high now, and maybe even this one here. But the way it's spending a lot of time inside this inefficiency, that's also disturbing. So we're trading lower still. Look at this candlestick here, closed on the middle point of that inefficiency, and still wants to trade lower. But honestly, it's really been bullish here, sticking on the upper portion of that inefficiency. We've not even once closed on the lower portion of that inefficiency, but it's really spending a lot of time inside that price point, and I don't like that. Honestly, I don't like it. So when I say don't like it, I'm not gonna do anything about buying it or selling it. I can just chill and get another price level to be getting into. So what's really doing now is ticking into this low here. So let's go to 15-minute. Look how it's going lower. So we're gonna get into that 850 to 910. That's the macro that welcomes in the London Open. So 842. We are back up again into 416s. The low here is 46.67. Back up at 419, 420s. We're at 423 now. So we're still trading on the upper portion of that inefficiency with the bodies. No body has printed below this inefficiency. If this works out here and we have a run into these highs here, that would be very, very nice. And a very nice lesson for today. Look at what we've closed. Very nice and interesting. So we have this 5-minute candle here, and then we're gonna have the macro come in. Right now in this 5-minute candlestick here, now that we've done all this business here, I really want to see it spool into these highs. That's 435. Anybody who bought 410s, that's a nice 20-point run to 430s. So we've not really had a run lower to make any swing low, but we have this swing low here. I think it's time it goes now. So if it stretches back into 420s, I'm maybe interested in a buy. Let's look at the 1 minute here. But it's still inside the consolidation. See that? That run higher outside that inefficiency. That's very nice. So I'm expecting to run higher. Nice again. So for 40s, these have been very nice, right? The patience here is wild, right? Run higher, take these highs here. Run lower, take those lows here. Now it's going beautiful. And no bodied candle has been put on the lower portion of this inefficiency. So this is acting as inversion. Beautiful. And higher. You can see it's going 444 now. 43, 42. So the macro is going to come in. It's unfortunate that we've not trained into these highs here, but I really wanted to see it run into those highs. So let's see where they'll push it. They push it lower, some kind of like manipulation act, and then take it higher. Look at that rejection from that high. That's the high is 445 to 430s. That's a huge rejection there, right? So back into this high here. So I want to see it pull high because we have a huge wick here. Let's look at a 1 hour. Look at this 1 hour. We closed here, went higher, right? 15 minute. went higher, and now we're inside this consolidation here. Look at the bodies. No, these have been a very nice run higher above these highs here once more. This some kind of like huge manipulation act here. It's huge. Now that we've gone above these highs here, and now you can see it's pulling lower. So I'm still interested in looking at how this inefficiency here behaves. Now that we've had this macro here, I'm interested in how it behaves. So we've gone back to 418s, 419s. So I wanna buy that 419 because we spend a lot of time here. Price does not really wanna have an interest in the lower portion of this inefficiency, and now we've had this rejection here. We're trading at around for those 419s, 420s, but let's just be patient a bit because it can run also into these lows here. And you can see it's sticking its nose on lower prices still. So your back down this low here is 408. So we've gotten lower into 410s. And actually it can actually resume lower prices from here. So I'm not gonna be in a rush to be buying it. So let's just wait for it to do its business. And honestly, this session has been crazily difficult, right? Because we've not really had a clear sign of momentum. We've had this one here, true, but it's not really interested in going into this buy side. Could have already run into that. And now you can see we're deep down into 4.9 through this inefficiency. So we are spending a lot of time inside this inefficiency, and that's a low probable inefficiency. A high probability inefficiency is like this one here. We don't really spend a lot of time inside that inefficiency, but this here, this can be a turning point. And if you go long, you're trying to look for that very short retracement and not really interested in these long-term side of momentum here, it will be difficult. So let's say I go long here, that will be taunting me. That will be taunting me. I'll not be comfortable in this trade, and I might get in on a loss. That's just normally what happens. That's what happens. I've had this experience. I know it. Let's say I get short here, and this kind of like short-term, very short-term retracement here will really have a taunt on me, but I'll be a little bit confident. A little bit confident. So we've gone offset this inefficiency here once more. We are going lower. So I want to see when we open up in the next candlestick in less than this 1 minute, does it open up and start just going lower, because it can do that, or do we open up and then start retracing into this inefficiency? So this momentum, this weakness here that I've been talking about, it might just have been waiting for this right here, this moment right here to resume, because look at the bodies, they are still inside that inefficiency. Nobody has really close outside that inefficiency unless it's this right here, and look at what it's doing here. So we're trading around 388. So if we are really bullish, I want to see price form a swing low here, and then we'll get back into this inefficiency and run into this high. But we're really bearish, then obviously we run into this low here, and you can see what it's doing here, right? I could have easily been wrong if I went long here. This could have been a very huge loss. So when I talk about 50-50, price action, I mean it. So I'm not really going to do anything. I'm really patient. And now that it's Friday, I don't want to be entering into a trade that will get me on a loss. I better go into the week break even. Yeah, honestly, I better go into the week break even. I don't want to enter in a trade that I will be regretting it later. On the purposes, I was 50-50 and I was not really 100%, and I was very uncomfortable on that trade. So we managed to get outside this inefficiency. So my mind is like, we might have resumed weakness, and let's see whether we run into this inefficiency together with this low here, or if we have a swing low here, then my interest will be again, price can run into these highs, back into this inefficiency, and then run into these highs. Not forgetting momentum, because we can run low and even run into these lows here. So we've gone outside that inefficiency. We are trading at 393. Actually, we've ran from that 413 level, 419 I mean, to 393 level. Those two price points, that gray area. So we're remaining with 3 minutes, and then we're gonna open up for London. So maybe today's movement is not really in early London, right? Maybe it's in London. Yeah, maybe it is. So we're gonna extend that forward. We'll extend also this inefficiency here forward to 10. So we're trading at 388.17 now. $385s. So Monday and Fridays really difficult, because this Monday I lost, right? Tuesday got right, Wednesday went AWOL. Thursday did not trade, and Friday right here I am. Just wow, right? So we've opened up for London now. So what if somebody came in London? What is he speculating? We are bearish. And somebody that is really interested in price action in today London will be going short. So this is a very huge decline. What are the possibilities that we're gonna come back higher, right? Maybe we can. Anyway, anybody who is coming in London, we'll be looking for lower prices. That's true, 100% true. So we've gone into this, we're trading at 376 now, very weak here. All I want to see is some kind of like retracement, and we have now a huge CB here, and I really don't want to see price get a lot into that unless we're trading higher. So back into that 380s level. So I said again, if we have a higher low here, a higher low here, then I'll be interested in going long. But what is it doing? Straight down, straight down. So if I want to be a trader right now, I want to be selling this. So from 380, that's a sell. 380, that's a sell. Down 360. You can wait for price to reach into this inefficiency. But what are the chances that it's going to reach into this inefficiency before it retraces higher? So that's why I'm not selling that. So it's 902. You can see the macro here. Opened up at 850, run higher, goes against all these retracement, huge move lower, closes here 855, very weak prices, and now we've opened up a new hour candlestick right here, and you can see we're going lower. So I am looking for lower prices together with the momentum. So I want to annotate this CB here. Honestly, I don't really want to see price get back into that CB. And you can see the midpoint of that CB is just the low of this inefficiency. So this one, I'm going to put it in dark slate gray. Then extend this to 10 right there. So you can see the lower portion of that inefficiency. So you can see the weakness here from 380s. You can expect 360s right here. Those are 20 points. And I think it's going to do it because we're trading at 370 now. So 10 points lower. This should not really be an issue on this kind of weakness. So that's 368. Wow, 364. 361, 360s. Boom. 380, 360s. Very nice run lower. Beautiful, right? So with all this here, so I think now that we've done this here, we might start to trend higher. That's a very clear possibility on my side, or we might just have lower prices and it might trade into this low here and might go straight low into this low. So you're still waiting. So I want to see it go through that inefficiency, which is really weak. See that 356. $355, $354. So you can see all this time here that I've been waiting for price, and then it does all this kind of flash to all this price action. It's crazy, right? And this buy side here never really reached into, it's never traded into. So my interest goes into this law and how we behave with this inefficiency here. Remember this sell side? Yeah, that's right. Here. So another thing that price can do, I've said, we might trade into this low here, and then it might start to trade higher. That's absolutely true. We might just have to start running higher, or it might just go below this low here and flash through this sell side. So far where we are now, we've not really had any clear form of momentum. It's not clear. I mean, we're not bullish. We are bearish. Now that you can see this run lower, but we've had this crazy retracement here, and I've talked about these, all of these. So if we touch the low of that inefficiency, you can see the retracement here. So this low here and this low here, those are relatively equal. So that's sell side. It's building up sell side. It built buy side here. We ran through it. Not a lot of time everybody thinks it's going higher. Look at the run lower. And I started this, not really this live stream because my laptop has done that thing again. So I talked about all this here. I wanted to see lower prices, and I talked about all this movement here, and I talked about how I read these inefficiencies here. So I talked about how price is spending a lot of time here, and we're gonna have this kind of retracement lower, and then maybe we can have a movement higher. But again, I'm still looking for lower prices because you can see how it's moving low. It's moving low really fast. So we've touched that low, we're back up again. So these macros here give very nice insight on what price is gonna do. So trading at 360s. So if I buy that 360, I'll be against momentum. I'll be going nuts. I'll be going nuts, and I might just take that trade out in a loss. So I'm just going to be waiting for something that is obvious. So trading at 360s, I think these computers might just throw away this video again. So we have no 0 seconds. So we've closed that 5-minute candlestick there. So we are still inside this inefficiency here. So we're back up higher. So again, it's difficult for me to be going short here. Honestly speaking, it's difficult to be going short here because we've had this whole price action run here. We've had the retracement here, and we might just trade higher. Maybe go into this one here. But I really don't want to see that kind of price action. I want to see weakness. So in that regard, we have this very small inefficiency here. I'm not really going to highlight that because the inefficiency that I'm using for narrative is this one here and this huge CB here that's just been formed right now. So honestly, I really don't want to see price trading a lot into this price range here. I want to see it just melt and start trade lower into this low and this low. Back down again. So we have 350s here. The next point is 330s, 320s down here, 320s down here. So there's the opening price. So if it has really a huge interest to run these lows here, we might just do it right about even now. So we've gone lower, very small speed bump here, and we're going lower. So the question is, can we have a run from 350 to 320, right? But that's really difficult right here because this inefficiency here, we can have price have a minor retracement and then maybe look for a run lower. So I want to see like a retracement back into around 380s. Then the way price will trade around 380s, then I'll have an interest in selling it from 380s back down to 350s. If it does not have that luxury of retracing back into that 380s, then we just might have just a straight down move higher. Down move higher. What the hell are you talking about? We just might have a straight move lower into this here and into this sell side, like the way it's behaving here now. So I want to look at the 1 minute here and look at those very small retracement. You can see it here. See, it's just going lower, lower prices. We have a stop there at 360s, 350 now. We're going lower, 340s. So retracement to 350. I think let's take a stop at 350 sell. So that 15 minutes is gonna come to an end. So let's just wait for it. It might have a bigger retracement higher into that 15-minute open. You see that? There's that very small retracement. That's the open of a new 15-minute candlestick. Back to 55, right? So the thing is, I'm really having my doubts on that 50 sell, but it's really going lower, right? Let's take a sub at that 50. So all I want to see is price sticking its nose on the lower portion of that inefficiency. Wow, back up to 60. That's problematic. So 50, 60, 70, we have 70, 80s amount. And I've just talked about it right now. I'm having a problem with that because we might just be running this low here, and then we might have a run higher. And that's just what it has happened. I've just gone into that short here, and then you can see the run higher here. But let's just wait and see, because I want to see it start to trade into this, back down into this inefficiency. So let's look at this 15-minute here. And hoping that I could have finessed it at 60. So I'm gonna just highlight this inefficiency here together with the line. Let's use Salmon 0.67. This one here. So obviously we've touched it. So let's see if price has an interest to run through it. We have this 1 minute. And wow, we have very huge run higher into 80s. So 56, 70, 80, those are 30 points, 60 points drawdown. Oh my God. 60-point drawdown on a Friday, right? So I'm gonna wait for this 1 minute to close, and then if the next minute just opens up and runs higher, then I'll be out of this trade, because now we are at 380s. I talked about how I wanted to see 380 on a sell, and now it is just right there, right? So I want to see price to start moving lower, but you can see it's not really doing that. So I think we might be out on this one here. Yeah, that's it for today. So that's the loss for today. We're back down to a very big loss, just because we had this kind of price action here. It's been difficult, honestly speaking. I do not regret this this trade here. This is just what happens when you enter into a market that is really difficult, right? So I think that's really it. Now I'm in a drawdown of this. Let's just talk about this here. on record. Now I'm in the drawdown of 5,000 minus 4,776.32. Yeah, 223.68. So it's not really easy, it's difficult. So I think that's really it until Tuesday. Adios.